Okay, so there's a couple things. First of all, I'm wearing my favorite pants to paint in, or basically to live in, but I realize I look extraordinarily round in them, probably because number one, I am, and number two, I am. So, boy, you never know how you look till you see yourself on camera. And then you kind of go, ooh, ooh. And I'm working off my iPad now. I have an iPad, so I'm filming off of it as opposed to the crappy camera, the Nikon I was using, which I loved, but and my phone, which did an okay job and loaded videos very, very quickly. I'm now working off my iPad, and it's extraordinary because I can make a video and within 20 minutes it's edited and up. So I get to get myself back on track, something I used to do, make a lot of videos, do a lot of online promotion. I get to get myself back on track, because of my iPad. Thank you, Apple. I never thought I'd say that, but thank you, Apple. And thank you for letting me see how just ridiculously round I am in old lady shape in my favorite pants. Oh, I'd like to think that I look like Alan Alda in MASH, but I don't, not at all. Now the second thing going on, or maybe it's the third thing by now, who knows, behind me are the drag queens I've been working on, and I've made several videos about them. And the last one I actually made about them, I had filmed them with my little camera on my smartphone and said, I declare these done. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. They are finished. They are fini. I am a genius. I am. You are so right. I am a genius. Ta-da. Then I took them off the truck here, put them in the back, put them in the room that I'm going to be painting them in, stepped to the back. I'm in a 2.5 car garage. That's my studio. Stepped through the doors. Trash. They're dark. They have no depth from a distance. They have very little depth, rather. And yes, I don't have any light over here yet. I don't have the light that I need. But as I said in many, many, many videos, the image needs to translate, whether it's 5 feet from you or 20 feet from you or 50 feet from you. It needs to translate. And these poor things do not translate. And you may or may not see it. You may be disagreeing with me, going, oh, Beck, you're a genius, they're perfect. But when I show you another painting that I was not going, maybe I'll just show you. I'm going to grab a painting that I wasn't going to bring with me, and did. And this is, of course, my Yayoi Kusama. Yayoi Kusama I did back in 2013, and I offered it to a gallery in New York who I had a contract with. And thankfully, they said, well, they actually didn't say stinko, they said no, thank you. And this has gotten me a lot of recognition, this one particular painting. It's gotten me some pretty interesting recognition. And, we sell prints of it, I show it myself, but I will never sell it now because it will be tied into something much larger than I could have imagined. So it stays with me. Now she has been wrapped up, or sometimes wrapped up, and kept in storage, in climate-controlled storage, so that she doesn't crack, so nothing happens to her. I did tear a small hole in her. I won't tell you where because I repaired it and I don't want you to see it. So I'm loath to drag it around with me. I am a bull in a china closet. I break a lot of stuff. If it's with me, it's bound to get dented or ripped or shattered or something. And she did get ripped. But I repaired her, as I said. So I wanted to keep her in storage. But now Yayoi Kusama's Infinity Room, she did if you don't know, she did an installation called Infinity Room. And she did it in her studio in the 60s. And this is before happenings. This is like a really, really big deal. And if you look up Yayoi Kusama's Infinity Room, you will see it's thousands of lights and mirrors, creating the illusion of infinity. And that's what she developed. And that particular room has been shown before, but not on a scale that it's going to be shown in 2017. It's going to be shown in several different museums across the country, and then I would imagine it's going around the world. But it's starting an hour and a half or something from me right now in DC. One of the galleries in DC is going to be showing it, and it'll be there for several months. And then I think it's going to LA. I can't remember, but there's like five museums so far, or something. Notice how exact I am all the time. Please take note. So if you ever meet me, you know how to expect exact measurements and statements and things. Oh, it wear me out. Anyway, the Infinity Room is going to be in DC in February 2017. So I thought I'm going to bring her with me as a just in case I ever get to show her in the DC area. I will. I'll have her here. I won't have to travel back to Providence, pull her out of climate-controlled storage. She will be here. She is going in a room that is climate-controlled here at my residency. But right now, and this is why I pulled her out, let's loop back to the beginning. I pulled her out to show you the disparity between her and the drag queens. And I wasn't sure when I originally put them up against the wall if I saw what I thought I saw. They were just too dark. They weren't illuminated. Their colors weren't brilliant enough. And then I pulled out Yayoi Kusama, who was at the back of the truck behind blankets and things. And I saw it. She's vibrant. Her face is light. It's well lit. She glows in different lighting and different sunlight. They don't. They do tend to fall a little flat. You'll see that in Yolandi, the difference in the coloring in the faces. You'll see it in Twiggy. Twiggy is way too dark in comparison to Kusama, as is Lily, as is Areola. So with her as kind of a drag queen doppelganger, or to use as a starting point or a reference, I'm going to keep Kusama here to remind me to lighten, to lighten, to lighten. When I declared these done, keep in mind, I was working in a very tiny apartment. I think the rooms were 12 foot by 12 foot. They weren't particularly well lit. They had a little bit more light than this place does have right now. But, you know, I didn't have distance. Even if I put them in my kitchen and walked to the living room, front windows, it's only 24 feet. So it's hard to gauge, you know, how they're going to look in different light, different distances. But now that I've got the opportunity, I'm going to go back in, declare them not done, thank you very much, and do it again. And it's okay. You know, I've been the artist who has said, this is done and that's it, and people will understand. They'll look at it and they'll make excuses like I am. You know, oh, they'll just get it, that, you know, it was dark or something. But I don't do that anymore. I don't make excuses. I also don't stress out when I've decided it is done and I have to stick to it. I don't stress out over that. I don't just stress out. Well, I do stress out, but I try not to tell people I stress out when things don't look correct, because there's always the time and the chance to correct them, unless you get hit by a bus tragically. There's always the time and the chance to correct them, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this time and this chance to correct them because I want them to be right. I want them to feel right. I want them to have depth. I want them to knock people's socks off when they see them. I want people to want them, to want the paintings, to feel so deeply that they want to have the images in their home, whether it's the actual physical images or prints of the images. I want people to feel compelled. I have to have these people in my home. And that goes with everything, whether it's Yayoi Kusama, or the girls, or the other hundreds of figures that I've made or will be making. I'm allowing myself to have the flexibility and the time to change and make them better and richer and compelling. Because let's face it, I'm so damn compelling. My work is brilliant. Well, I have to get back to work now. I have to fix these girls up because the sun's going to go down in a little bit, and I don't like walking Bugsy in the dark. So, ciao.